All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Call Allah, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in 1/3. And Adon Ratazah, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash. And the water Abanawa Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Forgive me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, prepare for a smorgasbord of prophecy. Okay, prepare for a smorgasbord of prophecy. All right, now, if you don't know what the definition of smorgasbord, which I've heard our elders mention that word a few times. I'm going to show you. And, I was just talking with a brother, and pretty much it was just like we were going over the current news. Okay. If you didn't know, Babylon has claimed a successful attack on key in their head do hurt sites for Persia. And Persia has vowed, and remember what the scriptures say, if you make a vow, defer not to pay it. Okay, what does the scripture say? Ecclesiastes. Let me get there real quick. I was gonna make a point. I just gotta grab it because it said vow. All right. Look, see, be not hasty. Okay, now when you go here, all right, Ecclesiastes 5:4. When thou vowest a vow unto Yahweh, defer not to pay it, for he has no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. So, at the end of the day, this is Yahweh Bashem El Shai's movie. All right. So I was talking to the brother, and pretty much we were just like, right now people they're catching wind of this prophetic news, but it's still business as usual. So as we were speaking, it's like, okay, so how are people going to be able to handle, the Third World War, war in heaven, digital ID, mandatory micro, more pestilence, more famine, more skirmish, more race riots, more war, the evil people, the love of many waxing cold. I mean, there's just going to be a rolled ball of prophecy that these people are not going to be able to lift off of themselves, man. The chariots in the sky. Okay, so what I want to do is, I just want to do this lesson on a few prophetic events that are going to be taking place simultaneously. Okay, like this. Let's ask this question. Do which we already know the answer, but do prophecy happen? Let's just happen simultaneously. Let's see what they say. Do prophecies happen simultaneously? Whether or not biblical prophecies happen simultaneously depends on they are interpreted. Well, it says there's no private interpretation. I was just curious what they said. So, anyways, back to the main task. Smorgasbord is a buffet offering a variety of hot and cold meat, salads. Okay, so it's going to be a variety. Okay, it's going to be a variety of prophecy. It's going to be MOTB here. Third World War there, famine there, chariot there. Lockdowns here, martial law there, Jacob's trouble here. So it's just going to be a smorgasbord of prophecy, and people are not going to be able to handle it, man. Okay, this is Mark 13 and 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives over against the temple, Peter and James and John and Andrew asked him privately. Like right now, these lessons are public, but if you notice, they don't have as many views because it's a private matter right now. Well, as we're telling you publicly, there's only a private number of people that are actually taking heed. And, the famine of the word is going to also take place. So where people are not going to be able to get answers, and I could see, I speak as a man, I could see our videos getting more views on certain talking points have to cut us off. Okay. So there's a time coming where when breaking news takes place, you're not going to have a biblical, a prophetic answer. You're gonna have to deal with Esau. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with Esau's question, Esau's answers. All right, one body. you know, it says, tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign when all these things shall be fulfilled. See, when all these things shall be fulfilled. Okay, so we're entering a smorgasbord of prophecy being fulfilled. Okay, we're entering a major time of prophecy happening all at once. This is why it said no day like it. So if these people are acting like it's business as usual, with which that shows you right there that Babylon is the hammer of the earth. Because you mean to tell me it's normal for you American people to sit here and just see Esau going to war? And the answer is yes. You see that? This is a warlike people. So it's normal for you to see Edomites killing people. Okay. It's normal for you to see Esau killing Jake. It's normal for you seeing Esau bomb the Middle East. It's normal for you to see Esau going throughout the world. You notice that? You see that? Sometimes you just got to sit back and let certain things settle in. And that's the thing. There's so much happening, there's going to be so much happening at once that people ain't going to be able to lament for their loved ones. And that's even said in Jeremiah. That was told to us, like it's going to be so much judgment on you that you're not even going to be able to lament or bury your loved ones. So they're going to have to deal with a smorgasbord of prophecy. Hence why Isaiah 4:1 is going to come to pass. Hence why a man of the Lord is going to be more precious than fine gold. Hence why a man of the Lord is going to be as a covering, in a weary land. Okay? That's how real it's about to get, man. So when all these things shall be fulfilled, World War III, pestilence, famine, martial law, Jacob's trouble, mandatory marking, invading one another, political uproars, attempting to overthrow the government, not being able to go into certain towns or cities or neighborhoods, digitals, everything being digitalized. Okay, the armies of the world in the so-called Middle East. Okay, it says, and Yahushua answered them, began to say, take heed, lest any man deceive you. Oh, and then you're going to have a sprinkling of weird Christian moguls on top of it. You're going to have new people claiming to be, these prophetic, godly rulers and leaders. All right. There's a lot. There's going to be, this is why it says wisdom and knowledge will be our stability. Okay. Lights going out. All right. No, electricity not working. No running water. All that's going to take place simultaneously. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed. Who's king? Christ king, Israel united in Christ. I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Many of our people are deceived by a lot of these false prophets. Okay. Chief Ephraim, false prophet. Bishop Nathaniel, false prophet. All right. Baal, false prophets. Naquam, watchman for Israel, false prophets. Okay. There's a lot of false prophets out here. So what's going to happen as the Third World War is breaking out, and then they're also mandatory marking? What are they going to tell you? And then what are you going to do when there's a famine of the word and you don't know if this is the mark, or can you take it, or should you take it? And then you got other people believing that there's going to be an antichrist. So look at all this confusion in the midst of order and prophecy being laid out before you. And now everyone is going to have to deal with a smorgasbord of prophecy. The question is, do you have the answers for what is getting ready to happen? Know what these prophecies are? Do you know what prophecies are coming? Do you know what to do with in particular prophecies? See? Do you know that there's a prophecy that you will be beamed up as the destruction's coming down? Some people don't even believe in nukes. See? And we shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Are we not hearing wars and rumors of wars? There's literally wars going on. All right. Amalek and Persia is at war. Actually, if you go to, it's called, let me see, I got it on my phone. Bear with me just a sec. Oh, Times of Israel. Times of Israel. I'm going to show you this website where they actually have the number of days that they've been at war right there. Israel at war 625 days. You see that? So what did it say? Wars. Where is it? Where is it? Wars. That's a war. Okay. Amalek is at war. And then it says rumors of war, which now this rumor is being confirmed to be true. Oops. Excuse me. Let me just do this. Duplicate and then go back. So now U.S. Yep, right here. I just want to put this in. There we go. Okay. So now you got rumors of war, you got wars, you got threats of wars. So you have everything simultaneously happening. Now we're just waiting for other in particular prophecies to come into the scene while these prophecies are taking place. It's not like World War III is just going to go on pause with mandatory marking. All right. Now the destruction won't come until mandatory marking. But the point is, these people are going to have to deal with all of these prophecies rolled into one. All right. You know, it's like you just got out of a breakup and then you get fired from the job. And then on your way home, being fired from the job, you get a flat tire. And as you get a flat tire, it's raining. As it's raining, cars drive by and then you get splashed by water. And then as you get splashed by water, an 18-wheeler comes and then it hits your car. And then you're walking home on the highway, but it's illegal. And now you get arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just gonna be back to back. Boom, 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 boom. Man, these people ain't gonna know what to do, man. They're just gonna get jacked up, man. This is why I said wait for it. This is why it says wait. All right. You don't want to be like the guy in the movie The Mist, where they finally got out of the mist and then they're all in the car together and then he shoots everybody and then he tries to shoot himself. He doesn't have enough bullets, and then here comes the military to save the day. All right, Habakkuk 2 and 3. Let's try a different translation. Just wrap your head around this, man. Like as you know, you got the uproars of the people. Okay, you got uproars of the people, and then as uproars of the people, that's going to increase. You got people getting jacked up. Okay, you got things happening simultaneously that are not just going to stop. Habakkuk 2 and 3. NLT, this vision is for the future time. It describes the end and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently. We've been waiting patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. See? So everything is happening, but now you have to look at it as it's just the table of prophecy is just gonna increase. Okay. So it's like, it's like as prophecies happening. Let me see if I can just click on this. I'm just kind of a man of visuals. It's like, all right, here's, first you get this, then the plate goes away, and then this comes, and then that goes away. But now this plate's staying, and that plate's staying, and now this is being added, and that's being added. All these are prophecies, okay? All these are prophecies. See? That's how you got to look at it. It's a smorgasbord of prophecy. Let's keep going. Woo. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Be ye not troubled, for such things must need be, but the end shall not be yet. Exactly. So even though, and I'm not making light of this by no means, even like Elder Apostle Ramlab said, through the Spirit, a very beautiful, comforting title, one excited, not too excited. So even though this is major and we need this key ingredient, it's still not the end yet. So now my mindset is, ooh, what is gonna happen to cause them to mark the world? What is gonna cause it? Because I was talking to the brother. I said, could you imagine all this happening right now, and then the vid situation? Oh my God! See what I'm saying? And that was a pestilence. So it's like, ooh, it's getting juicier. It's getting tastier. And this is why regular daily bullshit, it's still happening, but we're not being distracted with it as we used to be, or involved or this or that. It's like, man, whatever, bro. If you and I'm saying this as a brother, but if your bitch tripping, let the bitch trip. If the bills are billing, let them bill. Do what you can do. Don't fret. I mean, I'm literally at the point I just got daily bread. You try to say, you try to do it. Look, here's this. I'm there, you there, prophecy happening. That's how we rock it. That's Jake. That's how we rock it. We rocking like that. Okay. It says the end's not yet, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes. You just had an earthquake in Persia, which they're claiming was a missile testing that went down, in so much that it caused an earthquake. Okay, in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrow. So now you're starting to see, dang, there's going to be wars, there's going to be famines, there's going to be pestilences. We're seeing signs of earthquakes. So we're seeing a lot of things play out. And then look, Jeremiah 50 and 22, a sound of battle is in the land and of a great destruction. But then now prices are going up. Now they're talking about gas is going to skyrocket. People, it says grinding shall cease. People are losing their jobs. AI is taking over. So there's a lot of things happening. People don't like their president. So there's just everything is just culminating. It's bottlenecking. It's like when you take a carbonated drink and you keep the top on and you shake it and you shake it and you shake it, and then it's gonna explode. Oh, and now they're talking about sleeper cells are being woken up in Babylon. Let me do that real quick. This is amazing, man. This is amazing. Sleeper, oops, sleeper. Yeah, what's sleeper cell mean? You got remember you're in Babylon. You got to look up words. Our elders and apostles always tell us look up words. You're in Babylon. That's how Esau has a talent. It's his jargon. It's his babble. Oh, my executive officers of my CEO practices operations of marketing declarations. See? Sleeper cell, a secretive group of spies or terrorist agents that remain inactive within a target population until order to act. Woo! See? And then they could blame this on us. Now he's got AI. He could do it to himself and then blame Iran. Watch this. What I think it was called Sum of All Fears. Sum of All Fears. Right? Now, let's see. Let me see. Let me go like this. The U.S. blames Russia. Let's see what they got. Oh, excuse me. The U.S. blames the Russians, and the two countries are about to commence all-out nuclear war until blah 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 blah. But there ain't gonna be an until. You ain't gonna have a fucking Bruce Willis isn't gonna straddle a nuclear missile and then switch red wire and blue wire and save the day. Okay, Tom Cruise isn't going to be on a B-2 bomber and stop the pilot from pressing the button. This shit's going to happen, man. Okay, that's the Esau's always trying to show you movies at the last second. No, at the last second, the elect's going to be delivered. Y'all going to have to deal with this. Anyways, let's keep going down the list. So now I put this in, and then you got the Return of Yahushai. Oh my God! And then Return of Yahushai. Come on. Oh my gosh! How can these people handle all this? How are they going to handle war? How are they going to handle losing their job? How are they going to handle martial law? How are they going to handle Jacob's trouble? How are they going to handle UFOs? How are they going to handle Yahushai? How are they going to handle Maya Ka'ala, man? All that's going to be happening. They're going to be looking up and getting punched in the face. You're going to look up and get robbed. Like everything's just going to be happening, man. Everything. Even it tells you in the Apocrypha that the men of war are going to have to stop waging war with themselves to try to fight Yahushai. See? So they're going to be over here, they're going to be over there, and they're going to be here, It's just going to be like a roller coaster of prophecy that these humans are going to have to deal with, And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. This is why we tell you about the blood moons, the wolf moons, or the eclipses. I seen literally with my own eyes, day turn to night, man. Okay, they call it the great lunar eclipse or solar eclipse. The brother knows I always mess it up, but I literally seen day turn to night with my own eyes, man. That was a sign. I said, man, you humans are nothing. That was the Lord showing these people, you are nothing, man. You got to deal with whatever the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is doing. You got to deal with it. I said, that is amazing, man. Anyways, it says, and in the stars, thinking about UFOs, it says, and upon the earth, distress of nations. So nations are going to be going through distress. You ain't going to have time to pledge allegiance to the flag. You might have to use the flag as a blanket. It says, with perplexity and the sea and the waves roaring. Let me check a different translation. Distress of nations, turmoil within nations. Okay. Let's see. The earth, it says, and there will be anguish on the earth among nations, bewildered by the roaming of the sea and the waves. And then as the war's taking place, as World War III is going on, you got the mandatory marking of the beast. And then guess what else you're going to have? You're going to have the war in heaven. All right, Revelation 11:14, the second woe was past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So we're seeing World War III break out. We're looking to see, are they going to use a pestilence to reset the system, to introduce a new form of e-commerce through the MOTB of buying and selling? Are they going to use it through the a Greater Depression? Hence why they gave you a social security number after the Greater Depression to have people trust in the economic system. So if something like that happened again, that they will be able to be tracked and they will be paid the adequate amount of means of their taxes and blah, blah, blah. So we are now waiting. Okay, what is going to cause the straw to break the camel's back? Okay, so the next big thing is the MOTB. But as the we're waiting on the MOTB, you still got gender riots, uproar riots, Palestinian riots, anti-king riots, uproars of the people waxing cold, stealing from you, you getting fired, bitches cheating, everybody killing. It's happening, man. It's wild out here. It's wild out here. These people are not going to be able to handle everything rolled into one. Let's keep going. Look at this. Rev 12 and 7. And there was war in heaven. See? And let me get Daniel too. Because it said Daniel stands up. And this is why we need. Now you're like, I see why a standard's going to be lifted. That's another thing. The flood coming in. Delta, Delta Squad. Edom coming in. Federal agents arresting us. They could probably blame us for some. There's going to be something that's going to happen to Babylon of a double F. And I could see us being blamed somehow. Okay, why you think that agent, that low-level John Mark Reiser, always does two things? He talks about Muslims and he talks about Israelites because he's trying to bridge the gap. Well, people that can't. You guys, you Muslim? Everybody thinks because we don't import, we're just fucking Muslim. Well, thank Hollywood for the perception and darken the minds of people that prophecy said would happen. This is why we need a divine intervention. We're going to need divine intervention. They said we're going to be pilgrims, At that time, shall Allah, Michael, and yesterday this Jake drove by. I'm not going to look for it, but if you saw the camp yesterday, Jake drove by, and he was just a Gentile. Okay, he's just a Gentile, but he said something in the spirit. He said, my name Michael, and war's coming. And then the other Jake in the driver's seat, he said, and my name's Gabriel. And they're all, they're smoking, they're Gentiles. But we were literally talking about war coming as they drove up and said that. Okay, so our Maya Ka'ala is going to stand up. Jake 2/3, you got Michael Jackson, you got Michael Jordan, you got Michael Tyson. We got Maya Ka'ala. All right, so which Michael do you want? It says the great prince would standeth for the children of thy people. Why? We're going to also have Jacob's trouble. This all culminated Jacob's trouble. You want to put this lesson in one precept, Jeremiah 30 and 7. And for the northern kingdom, 30 y 7. All right, Jacob's trouble. It says, and there shall be time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, such as never was seen there, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. Exactly. Look at everything we're naming. Like, what other time in history was there a world war, pestilence, famines, earthquakes, so-called UFOs, nuclear talks, mandatory marking, people dying of starvation, people killing one another, houses being shut in, people taken in a great number? You know what it say? People moving out, people moving in. Like, it's going to get wild, man. 2nd Esdras 15, 2nd Esdras 16, madmen sparing none. Whew. Oh, the famine too, the famine of the word. Not be able to get answers. There's a cry for wine in the street. It says, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And that's the elect. So Adoratazah, we have that mark exempt for judgment, the Tawah, which is in Ezekiel 9 and 4, which is Jeremiah 30 and 7, because Jacob will be in trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now you can see what he needs to be saved out of. And he trickles down to she, because the man is the head, hence why Isaiah 4 and 1. Woo, man. And then look, Michael's going to stand up with the chariots of heaven, even in the book of Jude, okay, where Jude talk about it. Let me get that real quick, because he said even Enoch spoke of these, and not that bugged out book of Enoch. Leave it alone, caca, put it down. Okay, let's go over here real quick. Jude, excuse me. You just start thinking. Where is it? Excuse me. Micah, Obadiah. Where are you at? Oh, geez. Let me go here. Jude 1. And let me see. Where is it? Give me a second. Here we go. Jude 1 and 14. And Enoch also, the 7th from Adam, prophesies of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints. 10,000 of his saints. You see that? And steadfast. That's the spirit. I just had the sound of battle in the land just a couple seconds ago, bro. See that? So see look at all these prophetic precepts that are coming out. Okay, so there's a lot going on, man. Anyways, it says It says, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied to these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000 of his saints. 10,000 of his saints. Okay? You see that? And it says, to execute judgment upon all. That's going to be the war in heaven. That's going to be the war in heaven. People are not ready for that. They're not ready to handle our temptation. They're not ready to go hungry. They're not ready to see so-called UFOs shooting out American military fighter jets out the sky. They're not ready to see that. They're not ready for that. The president ain't ready for that. Esau ain't ready for that. The nigga woman ain't ready for that. And Jake ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for this, man. See, to execute mashapayim upon all, and to convince and to condemn all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. See, so everybody about to be put in a hurt locker. Everybody about to get put in a headlock of judgment. Okay, let's go back. All right, that's that war in heaven, man. That war in heaven. And Rev 12, the sky battle. All right, let me actually show you that. If I find the right translation, it actually says a sky battle. Okay, because the people in heaven, and this is where Satan, and that's another thing. All these false prophets, these weird bugged out ass breakdowns, all that shit's gonna get checked in the time of Jacob's trouble. Where the fuck is the rapture now? Excuse my language. Where the rapture at? You said you're gonna get raptured, right? See, well, that's why Elijah mocked those false prophets. Look. HNV, there was war in the sky. Mayaka'Allah and his angels made war on the dragon, Esau, Edom, and the dragon and his angels made war. Yep. Babylon, NATO, okay, Edom. It says, and the dragon fought and his angels fighting in the sky, so-called alien invasion. How are they going to handle that? And prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven. Right, because they got taken out. Okay, they got taken out. This is Isaiah 19:1, and the burden of Egypt, which Egypt now, this is talking about America, because it's synonymous with hard bondage. I don't care if a Christian doesn't believe it. This is why it's a private conversation. All right, this is a private matter that's spoken in the public. Okay, we don't have to do the burden of proof anymore. It is what it is. If you don't believe it, tough titty. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. Those are the chariots, chariots, Rakab, Shal, Yasharallah, chariots of Israel. It says, upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, America, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. That's going to be taking place as, and I will set the Egyptians against it, as civil war. Okay, as Edom is fighting against himself, as Edom is warring with Persia, as Edom is warring with Russia, as Edom is mandatory sea hipping the world. And they're going to starve people. People are going to be forced to take the mark so they could continue to eat, so they could continue to buy and sell. And it says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. All this taking place while you got a cruel Lord over you. All that happening, culminating in one. And the Israelite man's just going to be standing there as pure gold tried in the fire, righteously flexing on this place, man. That's how I feel in my spirit. All this going on, and we telling you, we told you, Isaiah 32:2. And a man, and an Israelite elect man shall be, the same one who didn't get a lineup, who had an unkept beard, who didn't have the newest iPhone or the shoes that you stupid ass like. See, you carnal weird ass people. We're over here. Why we look like that? We building an ark. Okay, construction ain't always so pretty, but it do look beautiful when it's complete. And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, the destroying wind, and a covert from the tempest, as the rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So we're gonna, hey, some of you sisters, we gonna be the reason, if we be those men, what's gonna comfort you in your mind not to give in, to take the mark. Okay, to comfort you in your mind as he's doing this. Revelations 13:16. And there's something that's going to happen. There's something that's going to happen. There's something that's going to go down that he's going to cause, that he's going to force all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So for you to be in society without being blackballed or ostracized, and that no man might e-commerce anymore, and no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Something's going to happen. Okay, something's going to happen to cause the known world to transition into a digital age of ambiance, But look, all this is taking place. You're going to be a pilgrim upon the earth. You can't register your car. You ain't going to have a cell phone. Can't get internet access. Can't work no more. Revelations 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And they're going to be tried through the idea of piercing. And this is going to be looked at as a means to save you. What if this guy, what if he says you can get in an underground bunker, but you got to have the mark because of nuclear fallout's happening? He's going to do something to make you be like, give me it. Okay. But this is where wisdom and knowledge is going to be our stability. Okay, people are going to look at us crazy because we're running off in the wilderness. But Job 5 says the stones of the field will be at league with us. Animals are going to be at peace with us. Shit, you don't know. You could be riding on a Siberian tiger and Jacob's trouble. Why we got to limit ourselves, Jake? Why we got to limit ourselves? There is no spoon, man. Fuck these people. These people about to have to deal with a smorgasbord of prophecy. Okay, a smorgasbord of prophecy. Now, I think I'm going to end it there. I'm just trying to hit the points, just trying to hit my points. We could have gone to second address, but I'm going to leave it there, man. I just wanted to touch on this topic. I was just sitting back thinking about it, right now, everybody, I'm getting ready Monday for work. And it's like, all right, bitch, all right, nigga, you think you tough. You think you can handle all this. So let's see how these people act. And that's why it says in Proverbs, we're going to laugh at them when the calamity come. These people are not ready for the lights to go off or troops to come in and chariots in the sky. These people are not ready to be mandatory marked and having to deal with these things. They're not ready, man. They're not ready, man. But we are being prepared. We're being built up. So continue to trust in the Lord and seek him while he may be found, man. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I pray that this lesson was edifying. And I just want to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, shalom.